chow down chow or random gaming, depending on
Well,
what
now
you're
I want to get
watching.
into a little bit about the Eastern Conference Finals. Okay, so we got the Heat. They're already in there. Um, who do you think wins Raptors Celtics Game 7?
I think the Celtics are gonna win just because. I mean, they are the better team. I feel like, right? Because when they win by a lot, and when they lose double overtime because Kyle
Yeah,
Lowry goes bonkers.
yeah,
Um, right, OG hit the half-second shot left. So I think the Celtics, I think, have shown that they are better. I mean, because they win by a lot more, and they have a lot more talented players at the top. I guess. I mean, they don't really run too deep.
yeah.
I think they should win. I think the game will be. It could get out of hand. If it gets out of hand, I mean, then I imagine it will just play out like all the other games where the Celtics kind of blew them out. But I
Yeah,
think if it stays close, then that's where the Raptors' greatest chance will be, just because they are the champs. So that's what it is. I think the Celtics really have to convince themselves, like, we gotta just end this from the
just
beginning.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We got to come out strong. That's the thing about the Celtics. If they come out packing a punch, I think Toronto is out. But if they let it get close and it's close to the fourth quarter, they've hit some big shots. They've hit some humongous shots. Like Kyle Lowry, OG Anunoby, freaking Norman Powell, Fred VanVleet. They are clutch. Like there's no doubt about that. Like if you let it get close to the fourth quarter, I see the Raptors winning. So I think it's a tale of two scenarios, right? If they come out strong, they put a 10-point, 15-point lead first quarter. Raptors basically done. But if it's like a 5-point game going into the fourth, I give the Raptors a real shot. I think it's going to be fantastic. I honestly, it's a coin flip for me. I really don't know who's going to come out of that series. But let's just say I think I'm leaning a little bit towards Boston. So let's say Boston gets in. So it's Boston Heat
Yeah,
conference finals. Who comes out of that?
I'm not sure what the season series has looked like. I mean, I don't really follow Celtics Heat games, but
Yeah,
I mean, I guess it all depends on like the defense, right? Because Miami hangs their hat on the defense. Um, they were designed to shut down Giannis, right? Last series. So can Boston take advantage of the fact that they have three options, legitimate options in Brown, Tatum, and Walker? I think they should be able to take advantage of it, right? I think they should be able to, definitely score. And Boston, I think, plays some decent defense too. So I think Boston should win if they get to Miami. But if
yeah.
Miami wins, I think it'll probably be because Spoelstra and all those guys, Jimmy Butler, they've kind of come out with a defense that can maybe take one of the guys out. Right? I know Toronto played a box and one last game to take Kimball Walker out of the game.
Yeah.
Maybe they do something. So I guess it just depends, right? Like maybe they do have some game plan cooking that we don't know about, obviously, and it'll turn out. So I wouldn't be surprised if Miami actually had a lot of success, but it's gonna have to be on the defense. But if Boston wins, it's because they were just able to score from anywhere. So I think right now, I mean, my guess would be Boston wins that series because they've looked pretty good
I
in this
think
series.
it's a very interesting series for me, Boston Heat, because
Mm-hmm.
they're both like green teams. None of the people in that series have been there before, if you know what I
All
mean.
right, yeah.
None of the people in that series have been in the conference finals. None of the
Maybe Udonis
people in that
Haslam.
series, yeah, sure, but we're not talking about him, right? He's not
No, the
playing.
Celtics made the Celtics. The Celtics made the conference finals. Remember, in the game seven
Oh,
against LeBron.
that's the conference finals,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, yeah. And they were
How did they
like,
get to a game 7? My
because the
God,
East was so weak.
my God, yeah. Anyways, um, I guess, but do you really trust Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum to hit big shots in conference finals? I don't
We'll
know.
see. I mean, it is.
I don't know.
It'll be their, I guess, opportunity, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
It'll
don't
be
know. Again,
yeah. It'll be their opportunity to show that they belong on the big stage, of course. But I honestly, I think Boston wins that series just because they have more talent and they're deeper, right? And if you look at Miami, okay, Jimmy Butler, we know he can do it at this stage. Like he's pretty like ruthless, you know. He's not gonna back away from the spotlight, right? Okay, whatever. But if you look at the other like major players on that Miami Heat team, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, Kendrick Nunn, these people, like besides from Andre Iguodala, these people have no experience. Like Tyler Hero's averaging like 20 points in a series. Do you really think he's going to average that come finals or conference finals times? I don't trust that. So, like, I just give Boston a slight edge, but I honestly think it's going to be a long series because both teams are just not like I don't think both of them are like have a convincing edge over the other. So I think it's going to be a long series. Probably going to come down to a game 6 or a game 7. And whoever gets to the finals, it's going to get demolished. Look at the teams. They're not. Yeah.
I think it's interesting because Miami pretty handily defeated the best team,
Yeah.
right? In Milwaukee, or in the East at least. And Giannis is, because, Kevin Durant and Kyrie are both hurt. Giannis is, what, like, head and shoulders, like, he's miles better than anyone in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess, right, like, if you can beat them, then, right, you should be able to beat the Celtics. But,
No.
I
No.
well, Milwaukee or Miami had difficulty once Giannis went out, right? Because I guess it became a lot more moving the ball around and stuff. So I think, right, it'll be kind of funny that I think just because Boston doesn't have the best player, but because they maybe have a more diversified offense, that'll actually give Miami
Makes sense.
more
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah.
Milwaukee's
It's different
so
styles.
simple.
It's different styles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, Milwaukee with Giannis is one track, right? It's Giannis driving, and if he gets stopped by a wall, he kicks it out to a bunch of people who can't make a shot to save their lives. That's how Milwaukee plays, right? So it's easy to defend for someone, a defensive-minded coach like Eric Spoelstra. It's easy to scheme against, but once he's out, Chris Middleton, people start handling the ball, kicking it out, driving. Then it starts becoming harder. When it starts moving around, it becomes harder, right? So for the Boston Celtics, they definitely move the ball around, and Brad Stevens is a great coach, and they got a three-headed monster outside the perimeter who can all hit perimeter shots. So I think it's going to be a much tougher series for the Heat. But with that said, they also have a lot of rest. So I don't like that would definitely. I think Heat wins game 1. I think it's going to be like a exhaustion situation because they're coming off of game 7. But I think it's a long series that Boston is going to win in 7. So I call Boston 7. Yeah. So you think Boston's going to win as well, right?
Yeah, against Miami. Well, I think they'll beat Toronto, and then they'll beat Miami.
Okay, so let's.
Congratulations! You've made it through the video. Now, go subscribe to all the links down below, comment, and hit that like button, and I will see you all in the next one.